Hi y'all, if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. My name is Amira, and today guys, we are going to be trying on some luxury lipsticks. Now, if you saw my declutter series, you saw that I got rid of most of my lipsticks, to be quite honest. I got rid of more than half. And at that time, I was also purchasing lipsticks, you know, because the reason why I was getting rid of so many lipsticks is that I'd had them a really long time. They were formulas that I just wasn't a fan of anymore. They were colors that I didn't wear very often anymore. And I wanted to sort of bring in some fresh life, some new. And so I kind of went on a little bit of a lipstick haul. You know, I bought a little lipstick here, bought a lipstick there, bought a lipstick there. And most of them are luxury lipsticks because I am bougie. I own this. I know this about myself. Know thyself. I am bougie and I do enjoy luxury makeup. And I especially love, I have a special affinity, special place in my heart for luxury lipsticks. So I bought some and I'm going to try them on camera for you guys. I've been wearing these so I can give you my thoughts. It's another reason why I kind of held off on filming this video right away, because I wanted to try them out, to tell you what I thought about them. And yeah, let's get into it. All right guys, so I am lipstickless. Let's get into it. So the first one that I want to try for you guys is one that I had my eye on for ages, and I finally just decided to get it. And again, part of this is because I've got rid of so much that I kind of felt justified in purchasing the ones that I've had my eye on for a while. I was like, well, now I have the space for them. So the first one I'm going to try for you is the Chanel Rouge Allure in Alter Ego. And she looks like this. Beautiful, you know, neutral tone. So I'm going to apply her now. And what I like about this is it's incredibly, it's sheer. It kind of reminds me, not going to lie, it kind of reminds me of the Merit lipsticks, but better. No, and what I mean by that is I actually decluttered two of my, I only kept one of my Merit, the original, the Signature Shine lips. I haven't picked up any of the newer ones. I think I'm going to pick up like one or two of those, probably just one. It's the brown one. But I got rid of, I realized when I bought this and then I was wearing it and I was wearing it all the time and I was like, this reminds me of something I had. And it was Merit Tiger. I think they are kind of similar in tone, but I like this formulation better. I feel like I get more from it. I feel like with the Merit one, I really have to build it up. And what I wind up still getting is like this feeling of like pigment never applying, but the shine applying. Does that make sense? I hope I explained that well enough. Whereas with this, I feel like there's enough pigment on first application that I don't feel like I have to keep going and going and going. I love this. I've been wearing this a ton. It's incredibly, the Rouge Allure is, and there's different formulations of the Chanel like Rouge lipstick line. But this one is like the one that's, let's let the motorcycle go by. Bye motorcycle. This one has that like really nourishing feeling to it. Now you're not going to get any stain power from this because it is, you know, kind of almost like a lipstick gloss, you know, that's like a glossy, slightly less pigmented lipstick. You're not going to get that like stain power. So I do find that when I wear this, I do have to reapply if I drink something, if I've been talking for like, you know, if I was wearing this for a video and I was wearing it for the entire, like talking for a really long time, I probably reapply it. But you see how pretty, I mean, it's so pretty. It's so pretty and it's so comfortable on the lips. It feels incredibly nourishing. I feel like even as it fades, it leaves a little bit of hydration on the lips, which is nice. You know, I feel like some lipsticks like this, they don't actually hydrate. They just kind of have that like shine factor to them. This one I feel like has a little bit of hydration to it, which is nice. So yeah, so that was Rouge Allure in Alter Ego. Next up, I have another one that is kind of like a balm type texture. Well, not type, it is a balm texture. And it is the Yves Saint Laurent Rouge Volupte Shine, and I have the shade 151, which I think is Orange Cacao, I think. She looks like this. And this is another one. I'm going to apply it, and then you tell me what Merit lipstick this looks like. But like sheer. This formula, I can't. It's like a much sheer Cabo. You see what I mean? I got this and I knew, I'm like, I may hate this because it's kind of, I said it in my lipstick declutter that I don't like sheer oranges. I like it to have a little bit of pigment, and then I promptly found 2 oranges, and there's another one in here that's kind of sheer that I love. So I have to eat my words on that. Maybe it was just the ones that I was finding at that time, but this lipstick, you guys, and it's really not a lipstick. It's like a lip balm, lip gloss with a little bit of color to it. But it has just enough color that you actually, like, it doesn't, you know, some lip glosses that are colored just look clear once you put them on your lips. This one has color. And it smells like fruit. It smells like mango. I get like the slightest mango-y scent. It's so balmy and hydrating, and this is another one where when it fades you can still feel that like hydration on your lips. I wore this all day yesterday and I love it. This is something, I will say this you will go through quickly. I applied this like 3 or 4 times during the day yesterday. Like I would put it on and then I'd be like drinking and I'd be like and I love it because you don't really need a mirror for it. You can just, because it's so sheer. It's just really pretty, and it just gives a hint of color. Like I've thrown this on and I've had no other makeup on, and I'm just running to, you know, go grab, you know, tea or take a walk, and I just want a little something on my lips because there's nothing else on my face and I just want like a little color. I reached for this, and that's what I thought I was gonna get from the Merit ones, but I didn't. I don't know what it is, why those didn't hit the way this one and the Chanel have hit for me. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you. But that's just the way it is. So yeah, this is Yves Saint Laurent Volupte Shine in 151 Orange Cacao. All right, so since we're still on orangey tones, let's do the next one. So this is a formulation that I have tried before and have panned, and I was going to just get the color that I always get, that I had originally, I'll put it that way, which was Peggy Taupe. I love that shade with my whole heart, but I was like, maybe I should do something a little different. And so I was just at Sephora, which is a rarity for me, but for some reason in the past like month or so, like last month, in February, I found myself at the Sephora shop like twice. The Sephora stores, I'm like, who am I? I don't do in-store Sephora. I'm sorry, I don't. But at that particular time, I was out and about, and I was like, well, this is a perfect time to look at lipsticks in person. So I was just going to get Peggy Taupe. And then I wandered over there and I was like, well, let's see what other colors they have. And I saw this one. And let me just say that Sephora drives me insane. The Sephora that I was at, they never have anything in stock. So all of the shades that I wanted of the different lipsticks, they had none of them. But they did have like the testers. So I was able to test them and know that I wanted them, and I just like went home and ordered them. So I wound up getting Lucy Dark Orange, and this is what she looks like. I'm going to apply her now. Is she the same as Orange Cacao? Maybe. I will say this, Orange Cacao does have a bit of shimmer to it, and it's not quite as, oh, got a little bit of, that there. A little lipstick escaping. So do you see the difference? It's darker. It's got a bit more pigment. How pretty is this? And this formulation, guys, the Gucci glowing hair. This, first of all, look how pretty this packaging is. Look at this. Gucci gets, the lipsticks always get me. They got me, you know. This is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like a combination of Tiger and Combo mixed together, and again, better. It's better. I'm sorry, it's just better. I love this lipstick. It's a gloss. It's essentially like this one, but like with more pigment in it. It's got a bit more staying power. It's not as balmy. Like this one is like, feels very much like, or you know, like it has some like lip nourishing. This one does too, but this just feels like a gloss, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like it just has that with a hint of like pigment in it, where this feels like a lipstick that they've kind of pulled a little bit of the pigment out and added a little bit more of like the hydration moisturizer factor, you know? I love this. It's so I was very happy with this. I still will probably pick up Peggy Taupe because that is my OG fave, but I was like, let's do something different, Amira. Let's just get crazy. You know, sure, it's almost a $50 lipstick. Let's buy a shade we would never normally buy. But I think my gamble worked out. I think it worked out for me because I think this is really pretty. All right, now let's get into a true lipstick. Okay, we're getting into the true lipsticks. So first up is a shade that I got from Natasha Denona, and her lipsticks for me, I tried one and I think the one that I got was expired. And I wound up not wearing it that much and I wound up decluttering it, but I was like, I really want to give this formula another try. And when I first got this, and so this is the shade I Need a Nude in Sammy. And I was like, let's give it another try. Let's give her a chance. And it's grown on me. So let me apply this now and then I'll give you my thoughts. And I'm not putting any lip line or anything on because who can be bothered? Like I've got lipsticks to try and I don't have time for that. So I'm just hitting that. So this is what Sammy looks like on its own. She pretty. She's real pretty. She's even prettier with a lip liner to help sort of like, you know, but even without it, I would wear this like this because it's so pretty. This formulation has almost like a gel texture to it. And I think that is what threw me off with the first one, is that I don't generally love that. And this, I would say this isn't like my favorite formulation. It's not a bad formulation though. I will put it that way. It's not a bad formulation. It's really just like a case of, or a point of what your preferences are as far as textures go. This one isn't my fave, but I don't hate it. And I love the tone enough that I'm okay with wearing this texture because I like the color so much. I will say that I do feel that this lasts quite nicely. This is sort of like I wouldn't say it's a cream. It's a satin, you know. It's not matte, but it's not like super high shine either, as you can see. And I'm just gonna see if the light will pick that up. But it's not super high shine. So I feel like I get a decent amount of wear out of this. I wore it for a 9-hour workday this week. I reapplied after I ate lunch and when I finished drinking my morning cup of tea. That's it. I didn't have to reapply at any point after that. So I think that's pretty good for a bullet lipstick. But yeah, it's really pretty. I think if I didn't love the tone, I don't know if I would. I'm really curious to try a couple more because those shades are really pretty. I just find that for me, I find a lot of the swatches on the website to not be quite accurate. Like this, I wish there was a bit more realistic swatches of the shades, but I've been enjoying this. I've been wearing it and she's pretty. This is a shade that I have talked about many a time and you guys have actually seen in a lot of videos because I was wearing, this is the first one I bought and I was wearing it a ton and I couldn't put it down. And this is sort of the lipstick that launched 1,000 lipsticks, or in this case, you know, a handful of luxury lipsticks, in the sense that I was like, I'm ready to buy new lipsticks. And so this is the Hourglass Unlock shade in the shade Large. And this is the original satin formula. I know they just came out with a matte formula and I do plan on picking up one of those eventually, but did I just get lipstick there? No, that's fine. Okay. This is the shade Larch. Can thank Kara from Beauty and the Frizz for turning me onto this lipstick and making me obsessed with it and making me buy it. And I thank her because it has become a quick fave. Look how stunning this is. It's just, it has like a little bit of like a purple like cool tone purple undertone that I just love. I love tones like this, and it's just slightly, it's almost grungy in tone, which I really love. I love a neutral that has a little bit of dirt thrown on it, you know, just to make it more interesting. The formula is lovely. It's super comfortable on the lips. It's surprisingly long lasting for being like a satin lipstick, bullet lipstick. I will say it's about the same as the Natasha Denona as far as longevity, but I find the formula of this to be more comfortable on my lips. It's more of a traditional like cream bullet lipstick. Yeah. I mean, I don't know much more I can say about this one. I've worn it a ton in videos. I've listed it a million times in my description boxes. It's just sort of been like become quickly a go-to, like a fave in my collection. And I wasn't even going to include it in this, but I was like, why wouldn't I? Because this is why I bought these other lipsticks. It just started me on a journey. But yes, this is Hourglass Unlocked in large. And lastly is a new lipstick from the new Prada beauty line. So this is the Prada Mon Chrome Hyper Matte Lipstick in the shade B01, which is, I believe, is the shade Argyle, and it looks like this. I'm going to apply it, and you'll see how matte this is. Again, I'm not using a lip liner. I usually use a lip liner with this because it is quite, it's just one of those shades I feel like you need a lip liner with. And I love the tone. Like, I don't hate this shade at all. But as you can see, it's quite light, so I like to give my lips a little bit of dimension. Okay. First off, let me say, this component drives me insane. It's very pretty, but what I find is this part comes out. It's supposed to be refillable, but because it is, this part doesn't lock down like it should. And so I often find myself like it coming out. So that's a bit of a bummer. I like the idea of it, but I feel like for a lipstick of this price point, because the Prada lipsticks are like 50 bucks, I just want everything to stay in place. You know what I mean? So that is a bit of a bummer for me. But the lipstick itself, this is the Hyper Matte. They have two lipstick formulations. They have like a soft matte and the Hyper Matte. The Hyper Matte is quite matte. Like this, to me, of all of these lipsticks and of a lot of my other matte lipstick, is the most like a liquid lipstick, a matte liquid lipstick. It is incredibly matte, as you can see. Like it's matte. And if you are not prepping your lips can get really dry over the course of the day. I have naturally pretty dry lips, so I try to keep my lips pretty hydrated by, I exfoliate, I apply lip balm, I try to keep up on my water intake, but my lips are just naturally kind of dry. So lipsticks like these will always make my lips drier at the end of the day. So that's the only thing that I would say is the drawback of this. It is also heavily scented. I mean, as are pretty much all of these have a scent. These are luxury lipsticks, and luxury breakup brands love to throw some scent on something. We know this. But I would say this one is it is the most perfumed, I would say. Yeah, it's the most perfumed. Maybe even more than the Gucci smells like lipstick. It smells like OG lipstick. It takes me back to like a bygone era of like makeup. It makes me think of like old school makeup. But the Prada is incredibly, and in this one, like I said, it smells like mango. But this is incredibly scented. It's not like overwhelming to me. Like I'm not offended by it. I don't find it distracting. But when you put it on, like I can still smell it. I do that. I can still smell it. I smell it when I open this up. I smell it when I apply it. You don't smell it throughout the day though. Like it does fade. But if you're someone who is sensitive to scent, that is something to keep in mind. And I say that's something to keep in mind with all luxury lipsticks because almost all of them have some kind of scent to them. So this is Argyle. It is the lightest of the bunch, but I love it, especially when I put like a slightly darker lip liner on. It just gives me all of the 90s deliciousness, matte lip, the deliciousness that I crave sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes I crave that, So yeah, I will say that this, of all of these, is the most drying. So it's the one that by the end of the day, I usually take off and put a lip gloss on. Like it very rarely lasts the entire day. All right, guys, so next up, last but not least, is a lipstick that I bought. I actually bought this probably in end of December. It was sort of end of December of last year, and I tried it once, wasn't sure how I felt about it, and then I kind of put it to the side and forgot about it, and then I bought Hourglass, and I was wearing that all the time. And I've recently I picked this up again and given it a second chance, and I'm just kind of like, I wasn't into it at first. I wasn't that impressed by it. I will say it's grown on me a bit, but it is not my fave formula. Out of this bunch, I would probably say this one is my least fave as far as formula goes. And this is the Victoria's Secret Posh lipstick in the shade Pose. So let me apply it. And it's not the shade so much that I dislike, although I will say I do find this to be sheerer than it looked on the models. I find it to, I think that's another reason why I was kind of disappointed, is that I thought this would have a little bit more pigment to it. I just find it like I have to build it up quite a bit to get any kind of like, you see what I mean? It's pretty though. But what I would say about this is, one, it's not as pigmented as I thought it would be. Because I think she has another formula that's like a glossier formula that I thought was the more like sheer glossy. And I feel like this one is quite sheer. Now, keep in mind, if you are of a lighter skin tone or if your lips are less pigmented than mine, the color might show up a little bit more. I do love the tone though. So like I said, I've been giving this one a bit more of a second chance, and it's grown on me. Again, it's not my favorite. I will say this one is the one that is like, it's like a cream matte hybrid almost. Like it's not completely creamy, but it's not completely matte. And I find that when I first open it up and put it on, I have to sort of like warm it up with my lips, if that makes sense. Like, hold on, I gotta schmutz on my lip. I feel like it has almost like a waxy quality to it when you first apply it, which is kind of off-putting. And then you put it on and it gets warmer, and then it kind of melts into the skin. And again, that could just be because it's cold out. And so like you can see now that it's super shiny, but when I first opened it up, it was like, looked matte, like matte. So yeah, it's pretty. It's grown on me. It's still not my absolute fave. The tone is pretty. I do have to build it up, but yeah, I don't like regret purchasing it. I just don't think I'd buy any more. You know what I mean? So yeah, so this is the Posh lipstick, Victoria Beckham Posh lipstick in the shade Pose. All right, guys, I have just reapplied my Chanel Alter Ego, and my lips are done. They're not happy. They're done. So yeah, so that was my little, or not so little. I think that was a decent amount of lipstick. I mean, for luxury lipsticks, that was a pretty penny right there. Okay, it's a pretty penny. So yeah, that is my luxury lipstick haul. Again, I didn't buy all these at once. Like I said, I bought one here, bought one there. So it wasn't like I went and dropped like $300 in one day on lipsticks. I spread it out. Okay, I spread it out. Let me know in the comments down below, guys. Have you tried any of these formulations, or do you have a luxury lipstick formulation that I didn't mention here that you think I should try? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's video, guys, please be sure to if you enjoyed today's video, guys, please be sure to hit the like button. See, my lips don't want to work anymore. And I will see you in the next one. Bye now.